Oh, hey there. You caught me. I'm finally getting around to fixing the diesel heater. I've got the fuel line here, started work on the plumbing at the pump end, so that's going to connect onto the siphon off the tank. And I'll get working on this, and then I'll show you what I'm up to later on and why the old pipe needed replacing. Tight under here. So I'm just trying to measure off how much of this line I'm going to need to get to the pump. So that's going to go there. It goes up over the chassis. I had a comment on the video where I talked about losing a quarter of a tank of diesel. I had a comment telling me that I was an idiot, basically, for, well, maybe that's a bit harsh. I had a comment telling me that it was stupid that I didn't have split tubing, wasn't protecting the pipe over the edge of the chassis, and I agree with that to a point. It was silly that I hadn't done that. It was an oversight on my part, but that's not the reason the pipe has failed. Cut this. Got these rubber joiners which are crimped on with these compression fittings. Right, so we'll get one on the other end here. Just make sure I haven't got a bunch of crud in the end of the pipe. So this is 5mm hard fuel line. And then I slide the fitting on, compression fitting on, and just squeeze it up. Get a nice tight fitting. This is why this line needs replacing. It's just perished. It's that easy to break. Just comes apart. So I'll take it off. We'll attach new fuel line onto the pump and then feed it through. It's just falling apart. It's actually already split there. So it's got nothing to do with not protecting it going across the chassis, and everything to do with it being rubbish quality line in the first place. Doesn't really matter where it's manufactured. If it's rubbish quality, it's rubbish quality. All right, so this end goes to the fuel tank. So the pump has got a fuel flow direction marked on it. Okay, so this turns out to be way easier than I thought it was going to be, because I've been able to pull it out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed this through, pull it out where it's going to come out to the pump, join it up, and then I can just kind of pull it back rather than, yeah, makes sense in my head anyway. The pump mounts in like a rubber ring that's bolted to the chassis of the van. So I'll just fed that pipe through that rubber ring so that I can attach it to the pump and then pull it into place. Alright, well, let's just fill this with kerosene as a starting point. Now let's remember to put the joiner on before we put the filter onto the... It's just all coming out in pieces. The old one. make sure that we keep the fuel line well clear of the exhaust. See if I can get enough squeeze on there with these. I'm really hoping I can. I don't want to pull the heater out if I can help it. Problem is that I'm right up near the end of the nose of the pliers, and so then I don't have as much leverage as if it was closer in. Okay, I've got a couple of options. I've got a pair of cutters here which have got a reasonably long pair of handles. They might do the job if we've got enough space. Ah, there we go. That's going to do the job. Nice. Yep, nice and tight. Right, now I need to power up the heater and put it into prime mode. It's going to take a while to pump fuel all the way through. Hopefully I don't need to change the pump. I have got spare pumps if I need to, but see how we go. Okay, manual oiling operation. In a shutdown state, 2 seconds after pressing the up and down buttons at the same time, manual mode control of pumping oiling stop after releasing the key. Please use cautiously. Okay, that's what I need to do. So press up and down at the same time. Oh, hang on. I haven't connected up the power to the pump yet. Okay, I'm back. We've got power connected to the pump now. So, okay, I'm getting an oil pump failure error. So I'm gonna just play around with the connections. Okay, well it seems like maybe it was dirty connectors. I sprayed contact cleaner on the connectors at the pump end and that didn't change anything. And then I got under the bed here where the actual heater is and unplugged the connector on that and sprayed contact cleaner in that, plugged it all back in, and now the heater is at least trying to run. I'll go and see whether the pump's running. I can't hear it from here. Okay, pump is definitely running. Let's see if we can see any fuel moving. I'm not seeing any fuel moving, but the pump is ramping up, which usually is a sign that it's running. Oh yeah, I can see fuel moving now. Yeah, okay. So we've got fuel moving through the line. That's a really good sign. Fuel moving there. Fuel moving there. I don't see any fuel at this end yet, but it'll take a little while for it to pump through. The pump's only pretty low volume, so, but the heater is definitely trying to run. Oh yeah, there we go. Fuel's just arriving now. Now I expect that when the heater fires up, it will probably be pretty smoky at first because it hasn't been run for quite a long time. Okay. So I started it again, and now it's actually running. Clearly you can see we've got smoke. You can hear combustion. Pretty soon the pump should kick back in. There's good heat happening there. Oh yeah, don't want to get your hand too close to that. Yay! So we have a functioning diesel heater again, which is great. Yep, got lots of nice warm air coming out the vent down there. I'm just going to let it run for a while because it's been quite a while since it's been used, and it's not good for them to only run for a short time, so let it do its thing. I'll clean up my rubbish and then I'll come back and put the split tubing on the fuel line. split tubing onto these two feeds here, and we're done. So these will now be protected over the edge of the chassis, which, as the person who criticised me in the comment section pointed out, it really should have been protected going over the edge of the chassis. I'm not sure why I didn't do that, just an oversight I guess. I do recall being under some time pressure when I was doing all of this, and that's probably part of the reason, not an excuse. Should have been done. Done. Alright, a couple more cable ties and we're complete. So I have to say, pretty pleased to finally have that job done. The reason that it's taken so long is just recovery of my hand and other priorities. So I'm not anticipating needing the diesel heater anytime soon, but I'm going to fire it up every now and then just to make sure that it's all working and not waiting a long time between uses. Well, I hope you found that interesting. It's good to have the heater up and running again. If you've enjoyed the video, give it the thumbs up. If you've had problems with your own diesel heater, I'd like to hear about that. What problems have you seen? What solutions have you found? Yeah, drop your comments down below. Thanks for watching. As always, be kind, and we'll see you next time.